Practice Test 1. Listening Comprehension. General Directions. 1. This is a test to measure your ability to understand spoken English. The test consists of 3 parts. Part 1. Understanding short conversations. Part 2. Understanding longer conversations. Part 3. Understanding short talks. Before you begin each part, please carefully read and listen to the directions given. 2. Put all of your answers on the answer sheet. 3. Carefully and completely choose your answer for each question. If you change your mind about an answer after you have marked it on your answer sheet, completely erase your old answer and then mark your new answer. 4. Try to answer every problem, even if you are not sure of the answer. Your score on the test will depend on the number of correct answers that you give. Do not turn over this page until you are told to. Now, turn the page. Section 1. Listening Comprehension. Part 1. Understanding short conversations. Directions. In this part, you will hear short conversations between 2 speakers. At the end of each conversation, a third person will ask a question about what has been said. Read the 4 possible answers in your test booklet and select the option that best answers the question. For example, you will hear,
James, will you take your sister to the doctor for me? There's an emergency at the office.
I have an exam this morning, Mom. Can I take her this afternoon?
What does the man mean? You will read A. He misunderstood the woman. B. He is unable to help this morning. C. He will have someone else take his sister. D. He is afraid of doctors. The best answer to the question is B. Therefore, you should blacken the letter B on your answer sheet. Look at the example. Now, let's begin with part 1. Number 1.
I can't find the journals I have just borrowed from the library.
I guess you put them on the table.
What does the woman mean? Number 2.
Betty was surely disappointed.
You can say that again. She didn't even offer me a ride.
What does the man say about Betty? Number 3.
What an unpleasant-looking couch.
Well, you may say so, but wait until you sit on it.
What does the woman imply? Number 4.
Well, where is the Ferris wheel? I thought you said it was in the north part of the park.
You heard it wrong. I said it was in the south part.
What does the woman mean? Number 5.
Tim, is Julia leaving for Tennessee today?
Well, that's what she said.
What does the man say about Julia? Number 6.
Half an hour of wasting my breath.
So, your presentation didn't go well?
What had the woman assumed? Number 7.
I see Edward is driving his car again. Did he repair it himself?
I heard he got his brother to do it.
What does the man believe about Edward? Number 8.
Did the movie last for about 3 hours?
No. Last night it was only about 90 minutes.
How long was the movie? Number 9.
Perhaps you could get a ride to school with Tom this morning?
Oh, Tom is taking a ride with his brother.
What does the man say about Tom? Number 10.
Running is good exercise.
Sure. And gardening is too.
What does the woman mean? Number 11.
I have to go shopping. Is it still drizzling?
Yes, but I'm sure it will clear up soon.
What does the woman mean? Number 12.
So, you and Eric finished the job on schedule?
Right. No regard to Eric.
What does the woman imply? Number 13.
The dean said that Professor Holland is leaving the faculty this semester.
Bad news. I plan to take his physics course next semester.
What is learned about Professor Holland from this conversation? Number 14.
I'd like this gift wrapped, please.
Sure. If you come over here, you can choose suitable wrapping paper.
Who is the woman? Number 15.
My CD player's out of order.
How about having the man next door repair it?
What does the woman suggest the man do? Number 16.
Picture this. This time next week, I'll be in Boston.
How will you go around the town while you are there?
What does the woman ask the man? Number 17.
I'm really tired. I don't think I can finish this report.
Want to rest, don't you?
What does the man mean? Number 18.
Jane is telling everyone she enjoys sunbathing on the beach.
Yes, but when did you ever see her out in the sun?
What does the man imply about Jane? Number 19.
I'm returning this shirt because it's too big, but I forgot to bring the receipt.
Actually, I can only give you another shirt of the right size if you bring the receipt.
What does the woman tell the man? Number 20.
Have you ever eaten at Freddy's Ocean Beach Deli?
Have I? I never miss it when I go to San Francisco.
What does the woman mean? Number 21.
Linda, would you sing the song you composed?
Only if you play the piano.
What does the woman want the man to do? Number 22.
I'm planning to clean up the living room tomorrow morning.
Don't you think you need to clean other rooms as well?
What does the woman tell the man? Number 23.
What a great concert!
Yes, the piano ensemble was good. I could hardly believe they never had a jam session.
What does the man mean? Number 24.
Look here. We need new scouring pads and a kitchen towel. I think I have to buy them tomorrow.
Yes, let's continue tomorrow.
What will the speakers probably buy tomorrow? Number 25.
Tom, would you give me one of the mangoes you picked?
I'm afraid you'll have to wait until they turn yellow.
What does the man mean? Number 26.
My classmates believe that the assignment from Professor Henderson was too tough.
Only a few do so, I guess.
What can be inferred from this conversation? Number 27.
Ted knows how to grow orchids, doesn't he?
Sure. When it comes to gardening, he has a green thumb.
What does the woman say about Ted? Number 28.
Look at my hand. I got blisters from gardening.
Next time, don't forget to wear gloves when you work in the garden.
What does the woman advise the man to do? Number 29.
Were both of the fixtures replaced?
Neither one.
What does the man mean? Number 30.
Ron, tell me about your new neighbor.
First of all, she is a busybody.
What does the man say about his neighbor? Part 2. Understanding longer conversations. Directions. In this part, you will hear longer conversations between two speakers. At the end of each conversation, a third person will ask several questions about what has been said. Read the 4 possible choices in your test booklet and choose the correct answer. For example, you will hear,
You know, measured by body count, The avian flu that scared Hong Kong in 1997 did not come close to the Spanish flu of 1918 that took 20 million lives.
Really? With this Hong Kong flu, only 6 people succumbed to the strength of it, thanks to the 1.4 million chickens that were killed to make the world safe.
I also heard that after a series of false starts, Hong Kong authorities launched a foul cull on December 28, 1997.
Yes, and officials vowed to get the job done in 3 days.
They almost failed because on January 4th, chickens were still running around, breaking free from garbage bags and becoming wild dog food.
Still, the drastic measures stopped the outbreak, and in December, the WHO credited Hong Kong for saving the planet from an influenza pandemic.
Imagine how many people could have died if the authorities had not acted quickly.
Question 1. What are the speakers talking about? You will read A. Spanish flu, B. Hong Kong flu, C. WHO, D. Hong Kong authorities. Since the correct answer is B, blacken the letter B on your answer sheet. Look at the example. Question 2. How many people died from the avian flu? You will read A. 20 million, B. 60, C. 20, D. 6. Since the correct answer is D, blacken the letter D on your answer sheet. Look at the example. Now, let's begin part 2. Questions 31 to 34. Listen to a conversation on a college campus.
Pardon me, could you tell me how to get to Ringers Hall?
Ringers Hall? I'm sorry, I'm not sure where it is.
I'm looking for an art gallery exhibition of graduate student statues. The campus newspaper said it was in Ringers Hall.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about. We call that place the Art Center.
So, how can I find it?
Go straight ahead until you come to the auditorium. You'll see a narrow path leading off to the right. Go that way and then past the literature building.
Let's see, to the auditorium, take the passage, then turn to the left.
No, to the right.
To the right, and past the literature building?
That's right. And then you'll pass a student sports center. Walk just a little bit farther, and there's the art center. You'll be able to spot it because there's a big, bright, colorful metal sign in front of it.
I think I've got it.
I hope you like the exhibit. The graduate student events are usually very interesting, and I've heard this one is extraordinary.
That's what I heard, and that's why I'm assigned to write reports about the exhibition. Thank you for your help.
Number 31. Why was the woman at first confused when the man asked her for directions? Number 32. What can be inferred about the man? Number 33. According to the woman, what is directly in front of the art center? Number 34. What is the woman's attitude toward the man? Questions 35 to 38. Listen to a conversation in an astronomy class.
Professor Davidson, I'd like to ask you a question. You have just explained the cause of the Earth's rotation by Isaac Newton. What will happen if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning?
Let's see. Do you remember the Earth's rotation in 24 hours?
Didn't you say a few days ago that it's one time?
Yes, just about that. And the time it takes the Earth to rotate completely around it is what we call a day. It is the Earth's rotation that gives us night and day.
Okay, so that means if the Earth stops rotating completely, one half of the Earth would be in daylight for half of the year, while the other will be in darkness. Am I correct?
That's true. Fortunately, the likelihood of such a thing happening in the next few hundred years is just about zero.
So you're saying that it is impossible for the Earth to stop moving?
Well, I don't want to say impossible, Damien. The most probable scenario is the Earth's rotation will slow down gradually over millions of years. So let's say if the Earth's rotation slowed down to once a year, or synchronous rotation, every area on Earth would be in either sunlight or darkness throughout the year. So we have to be glad that our Earth keeps moving.
Number 35. What had Professor Davidson been talking about when Damien asked her a question? Number 36. According to Professor Davidson, in what period will the Earth's rotation probably stop? Number 37. How does Professor Davidson characterize the probability of the Earth to stop spinning? Number 38. If the Earth's rotation speed decreased into one rotation a year, how long would half of the Earth experience nights? Part 3. Understanding Short Talks. Directions. In this part, you will hear several short talks that will be read only once. After each short talk, you will hear some questions. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible choices in your test booklet and choose the correct answer. For example, you will hear,
Class, last week we discussed Alzheimer. Today, we are going to see how the brain functions. Brains are different from computers, but the parallels can be helpful. Your brain is equipped with 2 basic types of memory: working memory for juggling information in the present moment, and long-term memory for storing information for extended periods. Most of what we perceive hovers briefly in working memory, a mental play space similar to a computer's RAM, random access memory, then simply disappears. Like RAM, it lets you analyze and invent things without creating a lasting record. Long-term memory, on the other hand, acts more like a hard drive, physically recording the experiences in the brain region known as the cerebral cortex. The cortex, or outer layer of the brain, houses a thicket of 10 billion vine-like nerve cells which communicate by relaying chemical and electrical impulses. Each time we perceive something, a sight, a sound, an idea, a unique subset of thesis neurons are activated. Once that happens, anything that activates the network will produce the original perception as a memory. What we think of as memories are ultimately patterns of connection among nerve cells. Now, I'd like to show you a brain made of clay. Please come forward and have a closer look at it. Afterwards, I'll collect your homework.
Question 1. What is the talk about? You will read A. Complexities of the brain. B. Brain function. C. Random access memory. D. The cerebral cortex. Since the correct answer is B, blacken the letter B on your answer sheet. Look at the example. Question 2. Who is the speaker most likely addressing? You will read A. Medical students, B. Computer science students, C. Psychology students, D. Chemistry students. Since the correct answer is A, blacken the letter A on your answer sheet. Look at the example.
Now let's begin part 3.
Questions 39 to 41. Listen to a talk given at a newspaper office.
Good afternoon, class, and welcome to the Aegis Marco building. As I'm convinced that you know from your marketing communication classes, an advertising agency has 5 departments, namely the account management, the account planning, the creative, the media planning, and the internal services departments. Today we're going to visit the account management, the account planning, and the creative departments. The first we're about to see is the account management department. It is a department that is in direct contact with the clients. After that, we will go to the account planning department, which is also called the strategy department. This department is mostly involved in strategizing advertising campaigns and conducting research. Finally, we'll visit the creative department. This department is responsible for the art, copywriting, and photography aspects of advertising. Next week, we're going to visit the media planning department that plans and coordinates with media agencies to determine the most effective way to channel advertisements in order to achieve optimum results. Take any necessary notes and follow me.
Number 39. Whom is the speaker addressing? Number 40. Where will the people listening to this talk go first? Number 41. According to the speaker, what type of work is done at the creative department? Questions 42 to 46. Listen to part of a talk about a special student program.
Good evening. Let me introduce myself. My name's Professor Alderson. I've been involved with cooperative education for almost a decade now, and I was requested to give this introductory talk about the program, especially the benefits. So, what is cooperative education? It's an educational program that generally includes combining academic studies with paid employment. This program means cooperation between a university with its academic programs and professional employers providing off-campus work experience. The activities in cooperative education can be worked out in a number of ways, depending on the student's course of study and the college's academic requirements. Students may attend classes and study, or they may alternate between semesters, working one semester while studying another. Cooperative education has some advantages that help students enter the workforce one step ahead. The first advantage is that it provides students with an opportunity to utilize their education and apply it to the workplace. The knowledge and skills that students acquire in the classroom are then taken to the real world. Combining these experiences gives students an opportunity to gain relevant work experience and actually apply the knowledge they receive in the classroom. Thus, the students will get employability and earning power, as this program provides a direct relationship between the classroom and employment. Since our university is an institute of technology, the typical employers are architectural and design firms, waste treatment plants, and computer software companies. You'll be dealing a lot with such fields. I myself give lectures on computer science. Therefore, I could provide a lot of information about this program. But before I go on, I want to introduce two students who completed this co-op program last semester, and you can ask them any questions you like.
Number 42. What aspect of the cooperative education program does Professor Alderson's talk focus on? Number 43. What did Professor Alderson teach in the cooperative education program? Number 44. With which of this cooperative education program was Professor Alderson associated? Number 45. What does Professor Alderson say about cooperative education program? Number 46. Whom will Professor Alderson introduce to the audience next? Questions 47 to 50 are based on the following talk.
Ski jumping, a part of the Winter Olympics program, has specific rules to obtain scores or points. Points are given for two aspects. The first one is for the style of execution, or called norm points. The point is to score the three phases of execution, which consist of flight, landing, and outrun. Scoring these three phases is quite subjective. To reduce the subjectivity, ski jumping will require 5 trained judges to give points based on the theoretical perfect style for each phase. The second aspect of scoring deals with distant points for the two jumping hills, the large hill and the normal hill. The size of each hill is related to an arbitrary K point or spot on the hill. A large hill has a K point over 100 meters, and normal hill of 75 to 99 meters. In each competition, jumpers will receive 60 distance points if they reach the K spot. Points are either added for exceeding the K point or deducted for not reaching it. Yet, for their style of execution, ski jumpers should know that their ultimate goal is to remain motionless in flight, followed by a precise landing, which depends mostly on their balance and coordination. However, environmental factors such as wind speed, wind direction, snow quality, and speed will also affect performances because this sport depends on nature. Therefore, the construction of ski jumping hills will have to accommodate natural factors to cater to athletes, judges, and media alike, like Holman Colon.
Number 47. What aspect of ski jumping does the speaker primarily discuss? Number 48. What does the speaker imply about rules in ski jumping? Number 49. According to the speaker, what happens to jumpers who are unable to pass the measured hill? Number 50. What prediction does the speaker make about the arena of ski jumping? This is the end of the listening comprehension section. Go on to the next section of the test.